All right, to a topic that's a little embarrassing but important. Many parents have had their child walk in on them in the bedroom at some stage.
Well, this is what happened to Gabriella and Carlos in Desperate Housewives this week.
No, I think we're done. Hi, Bethany. I'm here to pick up Juanita. Is she around?
Boys have sperm.
Excuse me? We need to talk.
Blindfold's interesting too. So what should you do if your kids burst in on you, and how do you explain sex to them?
Well, let's ask child psychologist Kimberley O'Brien. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. OK, I guess what first word of advice, what do parents do if they are caught out?
I think the first thing to do is act natural. Most kids, say, under the age of 5, probably won't even realise what parents are doing, and they'll probably go ahead and just ask for their request. But if kids are older, they're likely to be traumatised if you jump out of bed and make a huge scene. So I think if parents just cuddle up, act natural, chances are kids won't ask too many questions.
It's probably easier said than done to act natural, but anyhow, how young is too young? When do you start explaining?
The key is to start explaining when kids start asking questions. So if kids are age 2 and mum falls pregnant again, or 3, and the dog's having puppies, it's a good time to start introducing the idea of the cycle of life and planting seeds for the future. So yeah, it's important to start answering questions honestly when the kids start asking.
And do you think it's better, is this a topic, because we often talk about issues that need to be covered at school more, is this a topic to be covered at home rather than leaving it up to the school to do?
I think most parents would prefer to cover this topic at home. If they don't, it will come up at school in sex education, so when the kids are aged like 9, 10, 11. So usually by that time, kids have already talked to their peers about it, so it's better if parents fill them in on the details, the accurate details, so they're not misinformed at school by peers and there's no miscommunication as they get older.
Because if you do wimp out, yes, and they get the wrong information, it can be really scary for them too, can't it?
Absolutely, and embarrassing for them when they're in the peer group and they're not sure exactly what goes where. So it's important to use books as well, like there's one called Where Did I Come From, which is a great resource for parents with pictures. And we also consult at childpsychologist.com.au if parents need some support, or if teachers need some support in how to raise these questions with kids.
So honesty is the best policy here. How much, I mean, what do you say?
Without too much detail.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. What do you actually say when they start asking questions? And, you know, I mean, when they're sort of at age 7 or 8, you don't want to give them too much information.
Sure. I think when mum falls pregnant, or if a friend falls pregnant, kids know that there's a baby in the belly, and maybe just talking about, you know, planting a seed and how the seed goes into the belly and then the baby starts to grow. That's an important place to start. When kids ask where did the seed come from or where did the baby come from, using correct names is also really important. So rather than making up names, it's good to use, you know, semen, sperm, vagina, penis, so that kids do know what's going on and they're not confused when it gets to sex ed at school. Yeah.
Well, Lib did that with our kids.
Oh, did she? You made her do the talk.
I'll never forget Samantha sitting on my grandmother's knee, sort of talking about having an itch somewhere, and my grandmother thought she was talking about a car. About a Volvo rather than anything. It was very funny. So you've got
just caught up.
Confusing.
I wondered where you were going from.
You've got to explain to everybody.
My mum just bought me Where Did I Come From and left it.
Good.
But also you've got to have rules at home saying if the door's closed, you're not to come in, sort of thing.
Good point. Definitely important to say there's parent time and then there's private time, and so using that door as a signal means that kids give parents space when it's necessary.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kimberley, for joining us this morning.
Okay.